Hook better leads. Hookagency.com. Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google. Hook better leads. Hookagency.com.
Oh, what up, what up, what up? We are talking, should have tested the voice before I got on here, huh? We were talking about competitive analysis and stealing your competitors' keywords. And really, that's just a way to say it so you'll listen. It's really fun, though, and I am excited to talk through it. I just kind of started to do a little prep for this, and I just want to give you a basic idea of what competitive analysis can do and can't do. So competitive analysis on the SEO front just means we can put the website of a competitor. We have to find our competitors, who's competing with us on Google. We can find them and put them into Ahrefs or SEMRush. Now, you got to find competitors that are doing good SEO. Otherwise, you kind of waste some time, because most of your competitors, no offense, are terrible at SEO. Most of the competitors are terrible at SEO. So we have to find some that actually know what they're doing. So I'm going to kind of show you how I would do that. So I would, I figure out what I want to rank for. Here, I'll pop this up here. Figure out what I want to rank for. And so an example keyword that for this site that we're working on, we're doing this live series every week showing you how to do SEO from scratch. I would put in the keyword I want to rank for it and just start looking at these competitors. So clicking through and finding, hey, are these guys good at SEO, or are they just ranking for that one specific keyword? So like I put this one into the keyword tool and see, hey, are they ranking for a lot of stuff? I would say 20. You could take a peek at their keywords, but like there's just not a lot going on. I mean, there's a few things. We're really looking for like lists of like 50, 100, that type of thing. I'm also going to talk to you about, I really should have tested this voice before I got on here. One second, I'm going to mute myself. All right, I think I'm all right. Okay, so we've got this competitor that we're looking at. It's not much going on. So I'm going to go back to the search results, and I am going to try to find another key, one that's going on. This guy's website's broken. I think we're going to be able to beat him. Jed Tree Service. So we'll pop that into the keyword tool and see how that's going. And I'm going to skip a few steps here by saying a lot of these suck. Oh, this one's pretty good though. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't skip this one. Let's do some competitive analysis on this one. So if, for the purposes of just, if you haven't been following every single one, we're doing SEO on a website called Johnny Tree Service in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It's kind of a hypothetical client that, could turn into something. But basically, we've got our thing. We're going after, we think we're going after Eau Claire Tree Service, Eau Claire stump grinding, Eau Claire tree trimming, Eau Claire arborist. But what we need to do is find how many people are really searching those things. So I could put those into my tool, but I can also look, just kind of skip a few steps and put a competitor into this Ahrefs tool. And I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a good amount of keywords, and I'm looking for ones with a decent amount of volume. And then I'm going to kind of order them. So in this case, I'm ordering them by volume to see, hey, do we have a good amount of volume? And for a company like this, like tree removal is a pretty niche thing. Like if you're a roofing company, you're an HVAC company, you're a plumbing company, you probably will have more volume than this on average for a city the size of Eau Claire. Let's think about the population of Eau Claire for a second. Probably going to have a higher. Let's like just look at this keyword. So 70,000 people. It's a good market. It's a small but good market, right? Like part of the reason I chose this is because I think we can win quickly here. And so if I go to Keyword Explorer real quick, I can see like Eau Claire for Eau Claire HVAC, Eau Claire roofing, and Eau Claire plumbing, how much people are searching it. It's probably the Eau Claire roofing has the highest amount of search volume. I don't know why Eau Claire HVAC is low, but it's probably just somebody searching a little differently than that. So I just want to kind of give you an example of like how, so if I go to Eau Claire HVAC, I'm going to pull in a competitor for you folks that are watching their HVAC companies. It's like in Eau Claire, the keyword that has the most volume for HVAC in that area might be like HVAC Eau Claire. Let's look at the volume here. HVAC near me, you know, and these more niche services, you know, furnace, heating and air conditioning. So just kind of like looking at examples of how you could do this with a HVAC company. You could essentially just, you know, look for the top one in your area, then you put it in there and you start to grab these keywords. Now we're going to do it for tree service today, but I just want you to know you can do this for any niche. You can do it for any of your competitors, and you want to find the ones that are winning online. And most of them will not. So sometimes I'll see people that are like, you know, we have clients come in, they're mad at a particular, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. They're mad at a specific competitor or whatever. And frankly, that competitor just, they may be doing some other business development strategy well, but they're not doing SEO well. So we look at we don't waste our time on those ones that are not doing SEO well because they just don't have a lot of keywords. And most home service businesses are not doing SEO well, so they don't have a lot of keywords. So at that point, it's really go to the SERP. We call it search engine results page. Go to the SERP and find the ones that are doing SEO for the terms you want to rank for that have a lot of other keywords. And you can do that with SEMRush or Ahrefs. So now we'll kind of get back to that. Kind of do that for this tree service company live. All I'm going to do is you just have to get this off into a thing. So yeah, you might put it on a spreadsheet. For the purposes of this, I'm literally just going to put it on my notes app. Maybe I'll just show my whole screen so you can see like all that I'm doing. Like I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just extracting keywords that are good. Share screen, entire screen. It's always dangerous, but hey. Oh God. So I've got my competitor that's, you know, got a lot of keywords over here. And I've got my list that I'm going to do over here. I've got my checklist. So we searched Google for terms that we wanted to show up for. We found some competitors that are ranking high. I found 3. I found Eau Claire tree removal. I found 2 other ones that we'll go through. I think Badger is one of them. But we'll talk to that. All right. So then we sorted them by volume. And now I'm looking, hey, what do we got here that I would actually want to rank for? So obviously we got tree service Eau Claire. We're already trying to rank the homepage for that. So maybe I don't need to extract that one. Free tree removal near me. I don't know if I want that one because it's not a super high what I would call intent. And I know that probably you don't want to rank for free HVAC, free roofing, free tree removal, right? So tree removal services near me. So you could potentially grab that one. Let's extract it. We already know we want to rank for tree removal service, tree service, but tree removal, let's just grab it. So I'm kind of putting it in a note, and then we're going to prioritize this note. So we might want to, at that point, we might want to say it's got a volume of 2.1K. And this is difficulty, keyword difficulty. It's got a difficulty of 30. So I'm making this note for myself so I can prioritize these later. And you could do this in a much more formal way on a spreadsheet. I just want to show you the basic way to do this so you can get this started on your website. If you basically, there's free and cheap versions of Ahrefs and SEMRush. Let's go to tree service, Eau Claire dump. Frankly, that's probably, it's a low intent. Like they're not trying to buy tree service, but Eau Claire dump might be dumps might be a great blog post. So I'm going to put it over here. Eau Claire dump. Volume is 100. Keyword difficulty is 0. See, this is why you look at things for blog posts too, because it's like literally almost super easy to like rank for that. Keyword difficulty is like, if like the way they say it is like estimation of how hard it is to rank in the top 10 organic search results. So an example might be that you might need to get more links for this to rank. So you might need to have 30 plus links to a page for it to rank. It's just kind of a rough way to think about it. Logging company, how to get rid of wood from cut down tree. That's a great blog post, right? How to get rid of wood from cut down tree. And then we've got the volume of 90, the keyword difficulty of 3. Now I need to note that like literally for a lot of your cities, to go after a keyword with a volume of 90 searches a month might be a waste of time. With a city of this size of 70,000 people, there's really nothing too terrible about going after searches with this amount of volume. Think about it like smaller the city, especially if it's a city in the topic. That is a really good one, probably. Even at 40, it's still good. Tree removal, Eau Claire. Obviously, we kind of already know that. I'm just going to add that to our other one because this topic, I think more in topics than keywords almost. So this is a topic. Tree removal, Eau Claire, 40, keyword difficulty of 1. Eau Claire, tree removal. Volume of 40, difficulty of 1. It's like literally just different phrasings. Tree removal services near me. This free one, I don't know. I'm like tempted to go after it, but obviously it's not going to be our customer. But will logging companies remove trees for free? Maybe that's one, right? Logging companies? No, they probably won't, right? It's for free. Y'all want your logs. Interesting. It's always funny the things that pop up in here. It's like I didn't know people would search for that. Me too. But at a certain point, we learn more about what people think. Right? We're learning. People think that people are going to remove their trees for firewood, and maybe they do that in some places. Near me, volume 20. Should be stated that I'm not super familiar with this niche, although it's fun to learn about it. And we learn a lot about the niche just from doing this and looking at competitors. So I think it's not just your ability to do keyword research for SEO purposes. Sometimes this teaches you something about, what services competitors are offering, or it gives you an opportunity to kind of like think about services you might want to offer. I'm just going to check on Facebook and see if anyone's commenting because they don't always come through on here. So excuse me while I do this. Hope you guys are having a good day. How you doing? Comment below and like the video, and I'll try to shout you out if I know your company, or say your company, and I'll shout you out. I just want to like give people an opportunity to be part of the video if they're watching. I do appreciate it. I think this one's fun no matter what, even if you're not super into SEO. All right. I don't see comments on here on Facebook. I'm going to check LinkedIn 1 second, and then we're going to. All right. Well, feel free to interact. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. All right, we found 3 competitors, right? We found eauclairtreeremoval.com, and I'll show you kind of a couple of the other ones that I identified. We found jedtreeservice.com. Oh, I got to present again, excuse me. We found Jed Tree Service. What else did we find? Just looking for these people. So Jed Tree Service, we found that they had 59 keywords. It's just a smaller market, so we have to kind of take in these ones. I'm looking for anything that's good. Eau Claire Tree Removal, Eau Claire Tree Service. People are searching the most tree removal and tree service, right? Here's a good one. Even though it's 10, I'm going to grab it. Tree removal, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, because I think we want to do these location landing pages as well. And I think one of the tree removal, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and I'm taking into consideration how far we want to go for service. So there's a volume of 10 there, and usually it's more than it says on this tool, especially when it gets down in that very low amount, keyword difficulty of 4. When it gets down that very low amount, it's usually incorrect. And if I know that Chippewa Falls has a good amount of people wanting tree removal, like personally, and it's near where we'd want to go on service, then boom, we want to grab it, even if it seems like there's not a ton, because yeah. Inbred Jed Tree Climber. I gotta know more about that. Inbred Jed, hilarious. Okay. Tree Cutter Service. I think that's a good one. I didn't know that people are referring to it as Tree Cutter Service. That makes sense though. Tree Cutter Service. Where did that go? 60 and oh wow, the keyword difficulty is 36. So that would be an example almost of one that we're like, I put that one down for a second, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to go after that. This is why. It's got pretty low volume and it's got a very high difficulty. So boom, we're getting rid of that one. So that's kind of an example of like, okay, it seems like a good keyword, but it's not, because it's going to be so hard to rank for it. And it's not going to, like, I just don't think it's worth it. So we're getting rid of it. That's how to do it. That's you want to identify and chop the ones that basically will not be worth it as far as like the difficulty level. Augusta Tree Service Company, tree climbing service near me. I like that one. Tree climbing service, climbing service near me. I wouldn't have thought that people call it that, right? 50 difficulty of 1. So yeah, we kind of got 2 sites down of some basic examples. I would keep going here for a little while, and I'd probably grab like 5 more. But I just want to kind of show you guys how to do this. So I've got this list over here, and I got rid of the ones that suck. And we're going to keep on. So we've got 2 sites down. Let's do one more competitor. And I would probably keep on going here if I wasn't like trying to make this not boring. But let's look at Eau Claire Tree Service. So first of all, we should really see where we're at on this list since we've been doing SEO for a second. Really, you probably shouldn't be anywhere unless, like in this case, so this is probably like page 1, and you know how it's going, like allows you to go multiple pages now. Are we anywhere on this list? I think we're on page like 3 now. Mind you, we just started to get links. Okay, we're on like page 4 or something like that. JohnnyTreeService.com. The fact that we're on page 4 just means there's not very much competition for this, but nonetheless, happy to be on the list. Just happy to be here, folks. We're very early in this process. The things you do for SEO today affect the outcomes on SEO 3 and 6 months down the road. So if you're in a shoulder season, it's the best time to be pushing on SEO. I'll tell you what, I'm kind of looking for ones that don't have this exact match domain, because sometimes those are like lead gen sites and not real companies. So I'm just kind of pulling in some ones with like real names. Okay, I don't think that one's very good. Just looking for one that's decent. How about Gibbon? Nine keywords, no good. Just because they're ranking for one thing doesn't mean they're ranking for a lot of things. Because these people are ranking because they have the domain exact match. I think that that's a pretty short-sighted strategy if you're trying to grow as a company. Although it is a hack. I just don't want you to build your company around a hack. All right, so look at this. We got experttree.com and we've got 265 keywords. I like that. I like that. And they're ranking for some good stuff. Tree pruning service has 1,700 people searching it a month. Ooh, that's a really good one. 1.7K. Can you see how this could be really fun to be doing on your competitors? And kind of, oh, I'm getting excited because now I could see how I could grab keywords, competitors' keywords. Tree expert, high difficulty, so we're not going to grab it. Expert tree care, that feels like a branded search, so you maybe don't want to go necessarily after branded searches. You could though. Tree service with crane near me. Huh. That could be a good one. Stump grinder service. I feel like this is like unnecessarily hard to see. All right. Tree service. 40, keyword difficulty is 0. Stump grinder service. 1.1K. The keyword difficulty of 4. That's going to be a good one. Ooh. Obviously, you got to make sure you have the services. if you're trying to rank for them, make sure you have them.
Okay, I found this on the web for if you're.
Okay, I don't know why. Has that ever happened to anyone where Siri just pops up on that unnaturally? Stump grinding. See, this is where we kind of go. We were probably going to do one page for all of these, but stump grinding is 12K. So that's a really good one, right? Keyword difficulty of 21, but I think that's still in range of something that we could go after. Stump grinding service near me. So near me, I'm just putting in the variations in a topic kind of cluster because we're going after topics, not just keywords, right? Because one page can rank for many keywords. That's the ideal scenario. When to split up keywords. So it's really the intent. If you're trying to rank for things where you could tell that somebody's searching for the, like let's say free stump grinding, that would be a different intent entirely that we wouldn't want to go after. But what if you did like stump grinding? I want to find an example of this, but we want to like Stump grinding near me, stump grinder service. I'm going to try to find one that's a little bit different intent. Stump grinding companies. So here's a good example. Stump grinding companies. What is the difference of the intent for stump grinding companies? If I'm searching stump grinding companies, how is that different than if I just searched stump grinder near me? What is it? Nicholas Mindset? What's up, brother? Appreciate you joining. Guys, chime in here. What's the difference between the intent between saying stump grinding companies versus stump grinding near me? Okay, I'll tell you what I've found. I'm seeing if anyone joins in here. Sorry if I'm missing any comments. I always have to like check manually on some of these platforms. Does anyone know the difference? If you guessed, the stump grinding companies search might be looking for a list of companies because it's plural, you'd be correct. So what do we potentially want to do if there is a lot of volume for stump grinding companies? This is going to challenge some of you, but you want to make a list. If we're going to compete with Angie, with Better Business Bureau, with all these different services or these kind of aggregators, then we need to aggregate because there's a different intent for companies versus just near me searches. So I recommend that you make a list. Now you could put yourself at the top, or if you're a market leader, you could try not and maybe just put a video up at the top about your company and then have the list be free of your company or something like that. You could do things like that. It really works. Somebody that talked to us last week said we rank for HVAC marketing companies. And that's what they said. That's why they contacted us. Now, are we only listing our company there in a list of HVAC marketing companies? No. We're listing 7 other companies that we know that do good work from our understanding. And you could do the same as a home service business and tackle these searches that have a plural intent. They're searching for more of a list. And the more comprehensive that list, comprehensive doesn't always mean word count, right? Sometimes it means, like with these lists, more like either lists of services, price points, or ratings would be comprehensive, or photos. So sometimes it's not about word count; it's about comprehensiveness of the types of information that people are looking for. Sometimes in a list, that's more like quick attributes versus a big, long 10,000 word blog post, which I know like back in the day, that was like to rank for stuff. You just give them more and more word count. That doesn't work the same anymore. So just kind of, you need to give them what they're after. What would you want? Have empathy for the audience and try to make something comprehensive for that. All right, so we did 3 examples of competitors. Let's present one more time. Share screen. Did 3 examples of competitors, and those 3 were Eau Claire Tree Removal, jedtreeservice.com, and experttree.com. We found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 keywords, stump grinding companies. What was how much volume was on that? Stump grinding companies. I'm going to just search that. Stump grinding companies. You can put in keywords that you think. So there's 250 searches, and there was keyword difficulty of 6. So now we've done competitors that are ranking high. We put the competitors in Ahrefs or SEMRush one by one and find the things that they're ranking for that are like the things that we want to rank for. We identified keywords that have a high volume or amount of searches. We also identified ones that have a high amount of intent to purchase. So some of these ones with low amounts of volume, the first number is how many people are searching in a month. But maybe have a high intent to purchase. And then we're starting to order them by priority, okay? So tree removal services near me is pretty general, but I like it. It's got a pretty high keyword difficulty. I think I really like this stump grinder service. Seems like a really good one to go after, a niche within a niche, right? We love niches within niche. And then I also like this one, stump grinding companies. The keyword difficulty is 6. I'm going to put that maybe just because it's a blog post, I'm going to put it a little lower. I want you to go after service pages and location pages first. So I'm also, even though it's got a low volume, going to put tree removal, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin up higher. Because it's a landing page for a city. We're going to put that higher than our blog post. Tree climbing service near me. It's only got 50 searches. Kind of like this is a blog post though. How to get rid of. Yeah, I think blog posts are going to go lower, right? Especially these low, like for free type stuff is going to go really low. But this is, even though this doesn't have the word free in it, firewood removal near me kind of implies they want it cheap. Tree pruning service. I think that's a good one. Tree pruning service. I like that one a lot. Now it doesn't have the city in it, so we might go beneath the city ones. But it's got a good amount of volume, so will be a good service page. Tree service with crane near me. Now this is for the whole country, mind you. So actually, I don't even care to bring that one up. Now that I think about it, it's like 40 searches for the entire country. So I'm not going to go after that one right away. Now, hey, maybe you really, at the end of the day, you decide to chop like the ones that suck the most. Okay. And those would be the ones that I probably would chop personally. Now I've got a list of service pages, some location pages, and I've got, more service pages. And then I've got some blog posts to go after. So this would be things I can do. I can write these pieces of content or make these landing pages to rank for things that I found people are searching a lot based on competitive analysis. So now we ordered them by priority. Once again, or I think this is a good reminder, understand that competitive analysis is just one component to keyword research, and you should use your creativity and understanding of the market to build content that hasn't been made as well. So even though my competitor, let's say as a tree service company, isn't ranking for best time to plant trees in Wisconsin, my creative brain has the ability to think of things that are similar to what my ideal customer wants around the time that they might be purchasing what I'm doing. So there's different ways besides competitive analysis to come up with keywords. And I just want you to know that. And I don't want you to get stuck with just competitive analysis. So creativity. And then the other one is, instead of just putting competitors from this market in, I could go to Milwaukee. I could go to Chicago, and I could search for competitors there to see what they're ranking for, because they're going to have really good blog posts. And mind you, I'm probably going to do that. Once we get more into the blogging side of this, I think just for making sure we're doing the right amount of effort on the right things. I'm not going to do that now, but like put competitors or larger companies from close nearby larger markets in and do competitive analysis on them for blog posts, because a lot of times they're doing it much better than smaller cities. Just the amount of competition has driven them to spend more money on SEO or spend more money on internal marketing staff. So that's an example of like, besides competitive analysis, go to larger markets and look. Use your creativity. your understanding of the market. So if you're in a city, you know the cities nearby and you know people are searching your service there. Sometimes the volume, the amount of searches that are going to show up on Ahrefs or SEMRush are just not going to be high according to the keyword tool, but you have unique understanding of the market and can risk it by going after those keywords, those smaller cities, even though you know it's just not showing up in the keyword tool yet. It's okay. And ultimately, like if you know there's a good amount of demand in that market, still make city landing pages. And if you know, something I used to do in the back in the day was like, what would I want? You know, I would always like when I was doing stuff, I was like, I want a list. This is just for like an agency or like a designer back in the day. I was like, I wanted a list of hipster fonts. This is like 10 years ago when the word hipster was still in use. Hipster fonts, right? And then I made that list. And what would you want as a homeowner? Can you put yourself in their shoes? Around the time that I'm getting tree service cut down, or if I was thinking about cutting down a tree. Oh, if I was thinking about cutting down a tree, maybe I would Google best chainsaws. Maybe I would Google best pruning shears for trees or whatever it happens to be. So not only doing competitive analysis, also doing larger cities, doing creativity, putting yourself in the shoes of the ideal customer and trying to find keywords like that. And then lastly, and I'm not going to do this on this one because it's already pretty long, but we're essentially like, once we have this list, we need to make a landing page for the service pages. We need to make city landing pages for the city plus service pages. We need to make blog posts for the lists and like how to get rid of wood from cut down tree. So we could just do that really quick too, live on here. Like what type of content are we going to make for it? You essentially want to sort it by intent. So I'm going to put our apple tree service up here. Apple tree or Johnny Apple. What is it? JohnnyTreeService.com. Sorry, I have it up on one of these. Johnny Tree Service. It's taking a second to get there. All right, so stump grinder service. We got service pages. I'm gonna do it over here, even though this is gonna be low. I don't know why it's not loading. Okay. Service pages, stump grinding near me. That's all one, right? This is all one topic. This is a service page. Tree removal service near me. Tree removal Eau Claire. That's a like a location page potentially. Unless we went after it over on the home page, which we actually are. So I'm actually not going to do a separate page for this. This is a service page. We could put this higher. Tree pruning service. Grinding companies. Put that higher on the list, but it's in service pages. Tree climbing service near me. I don't think I even like that one that much. And then we put blog post. So you could sort them by this. Eau Claire dump. That's a blog post because we're not trying to sell that to people. So you got service pages, location pages, and blog posts. And I'm probably going to go after I'm going to do service pages first so that this site is built out all the way. Then I'm going to go after location pages, which don't need to be on the menu per se. They could be in the footer potentially to link to them, but you don't have to. And then I'm going to go after blog posts last. So that's kind of how I would do my ordering of my competitive analysis. I want to recommend that you don't necessarily need to make these lists that long. If like you're targeting the next couple months, then do about as much as I did. I essentially have 1, 2, 3, 4 service pages, 1, 2, 3 location pages, and 2 blog posts. That's a perfect amount for this next couple months, for this first month or so that you're doing SEO, depending on how aggressive you want to get with it. But that's a good chunk of content that we're going to now have to go and create. So it's understanding that you don't necessarily need to have this massive list. I'd rather you take action with the keywords you have identified. If this was like, hey, Tim is really trying to do this, like, this is my main company and I was doing this for myself, I might have a larger list to begin with, but then I'd chop half the ones that weren't as good. So you could kind of do more, and especially in larger markets, you probably could come up with a longer list to start and then chop half of it based on it's too high of keyword difficulty, that KD number, too low of volume. Like, so it's okay to make a longer list. I just wanted to make this short and concise for you so you could figure out how to do this for yourself. SEMRush, Ahrefs are the tools that we use for competitive analysis. I don't want to repeat myself too much, so I'm actually going to wrap this up. I really appreciate you guys joining me, and we are doing this every single week. We're teaching you how to do DIY SEO, and we've, on our website we have nearly 1.5 million people on it every single year. So I just want you to know that I'm a practitioner of this, and I've been doing it for a long time. I hope you guys have a great one. Bye.
Tim and his company is just light years apart from anybody we've ever experienced. From day one, it was just shockingly different.
They did such a great job.
Extremely happy.
I have a salesperson that works 24/7.
We've worked with a lot of different agencies over the years, and I think we found, just like most people in this room probably, that they're extremely frustrating, really annoying. Tim and his company is just light years apart from anybody we've ever experienced.
Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. HookAgency.com